Dressed just like his father, 4-year-old Bobby Dowling made a promise to his dad right before the helicopter pilot left for Vietnam.
The last thing my dad told me before he went to war was, I need you to take care of your mom and your sisters if I don't make it back. And I saluted him and I said, yes, sir.
Now 62 and living in Charlotte, the Gold Star son is intent on keeping his word to his dad.
I feel like he's saying, don't let this go.
Chief Warrant Officer Robert Dowling died in the South China Sea in January 1966.
He was shot down and killed with his entire crew.
The 27-year-old's family buried him in the Camp Lewis Post Cemetery just south of Tacoma, Washington. That same month, the cemetery mailed his young widow this letter, a record of her reservation of the adjoining burial plot.
I just knew that I would be there sometime.
Mary Dowling says in the many decades after her husband's death, she felt fully supported by the Army. But that changed on Veterans Day 2022 when she visited her husband's grave.
I was terribly shocked.
When she placed the flowers on my father's grave, she realized that the grassy plot that was next to his had been taken by someone else's burial.
I was upset and I really didn't know what to do.
Records show the Army allowed for another veteran's urn burial here in October. Especially shocking for Dowling since up until recently, a map on the cemetery's own website showed the two burial plots mentioned in her 1966 letter, both marked with the name Dowling in a nearly full cemetery.
It just makes me feel alone and kind of insecure.
Years ago, the Army allowed qualified spouses to reserve graves in writing long before their deaths. Today, eligibility is determined upon death.
I think this is actually killing her.
Bobby Dowling says the paper trail is clear in his 84-year-old mom's case. The Army, though, maintains its internal review of records found no official record of an approved reservation, which rendered the grave available, telling us the original letter is an unsigned request for burial that cautions the temporary nature of the cemetery. In a statement, the Army told us it does not doubt the widow's claims and has compassion for her and her family during this difficult time, apologizing for any distress caused and saying, "We sincerely regret any error which resulted in an expectation of a separate grave being reserved for Mrs. Dowling." The Army added, "We are committed to ensuring the internment of Mrs. Dowling in the same grave with her husband at her time of need, just similar to Gold Star spouses at all national cemeteries, and will continue to communicate directly with her to come to a resolution." Its own review shows despite the other veterans' urn burial, there is sufficient space to fit another casket next to Dowling's husband's plot.
It's about promises.
The Dowlings say that response ignores the fact she won't get a headstone, and she'll die without the most important question answered.
How did this happen?
That's why Bobby Dowling fights on, not just for his mom, but for his dad.
I think he'd be upset.
Refusing to break another promise, one he made almost 60 years ago. The families enlisted the help of a congresswoman and 2 U.S. senators, including Senator Ted Budd here in North Carolina, to help with their quest for answers. Senator Budd's office told us they will, quote, do everything we can to help in this matter. Nate Morabito, WCNC Charlotte.